Hey everyone, welcome to Gemrock Stone. I am going to continue with the two final verses from the Beatitudes in Matthew 5. And it's funny, I'm just going to give you like a short testimony, right? So, I have been looking for an apartment to move to because this apartment served its purpose for the time that I leased it and for the location, etc. Right? So the purpose, I believe the purpose is over. The time is over. It's time for me to move on. In the same area or close to, it's close by, but out of this one. And so I have been looking since like February, and I really haven't found anything that would accommodate, what I'm looking for, or the location, or the price, or whatever. It's a combination of things. Plus, I have the little dude, right? My little dog. So, yesterday I got excited because I finally found an apartment that was like, okay, looked okay, the price is okay, and the location was okay. It was like okay. So I went, I saw the video of it, looked okay. Then I went in person and I met the realtors, and they were cordial. And I looked at the unit, and it was okay. It's a little weathered, cabinets were weathered, etc. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. On the third floor, but I'm like, okay, Arline, I'm already gonna have to hold your pee until we get downstairs, So, and it was located in an interesting area that I would like to explore within the city. Okay, so I was excited. I'm like, okay, I need to fill out this application. So this morning I got up and I was thinking about another unit which was nicer, a little bit more expensive, and in a nicer area, but a little bit secluded and then I would be in a city. But I don't know, kind of something about this particular area was kind of homely like and kind of familiar. So I disregarded the other one and I applied for this one today. And I sent in the application and I texted the realtor and I said, listen, I just emailed you the application and, the items that you requested along with the application, just let me know if I can give you the deposit and move forward this weekend because I'm going to be super busy this week, which is true. This week is going to be super busy for me at work. And so I did that, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna look at the rest. I'm gonna complete the Beatitudes because this today might be a busy day for me, and I want to just uh, do this early since I hadn't done it for a while. So I wrote down some beautiful notes about when I read verse 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And when I was preparing some coffee, there was a feather, like a white feather. And I had seen like two white doves the night before. And I told my sister, oh, two white doves, the Holy Spirit is with me. Oh, a feather, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was, oh, surely God is approving, this application that I submitted. And so I started writing my notes. And what I wrote was righteousness belongs to Jesus, to Yeshua, right? Well, here's what the verse says. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And what came to mind was righteousness belongs to Jesus or Yeshua. Thanks. That's a line in a Christmas song, and it is in a Christian song. Righteousness belongs to Jesus. I don't remember what song, who sings it, whatever, but I know it's a line in a Christian song. And it's cute. I thought about it and I said, oh, that's a cute line. Righteousness belongs to Jesus. But in actuality, righteousness is Yeshua. I mean, he is righteousness. I remember, and I had said it before, I dreamt that a few decades ago, actually, I dreamt that I was dreaming, and then all of a sudden there was a voice, and I know the voice was from God, and it said, righteousness, Tanya, is all around you. Righteousness is all around you. And I knew that it was not that I was righteous, because I surely didn't feel righteous, especially at the time that I dreamt the dream. But what I understood was, what the revelation was, that righteousness, He, God, Yeshua, He was all around me. And it had nothing to do with me. It was all about Him. So, righteousness belongs to Jesus. That's a cute line, but it's not complete, nor is it. It's just not complete. It's not that righteousness belongs to Jesus. It's that Jesus is righteousness. It's that Yeshua is righteousness. And so the only way that we can, be righteous is if we're plugged into Him. And actually, that's a big load off our back, to say, wow, we're not righteous, and to understand that and to accept it. Like, we're not perfect. We're not going to. We can pursue it, right? We can pursue righteousness. But there's going to be that one moment where you think your life is perfect. Oh, you didn't have any negative thoughts. You didn't you didn't do anything bad. And all of a sudden, bam. And then we fall from grace and we fall from righteousness. And so we understand that we are not righteous, but whom we plug into, whom we hold on to, He's righteous. That's because of Him. Then we receive like the blessing from Him, because He's righteous. And so I think it's a big burden, because it's not like I said, of course we need to strive, right, to be perfect and to be righteous, but like we're not like our genetic makeup, it doesn't allow us to be righteous. It just doesn't. We're in a fallen world. And it just doesn't allow for that. So we just have to be sure to plug into Him. So I said in my notes, like, as I have been saying, or as I keep saying, not on my own merit, not in my own strength, but in His strength, can I be righteous? And as a result of that, we reap the benefits, we reap the blessings, right, of being plugged in to Yeshua, who is righteous. He is righteousness. Okay. Then I got a text. I'm sorry, I thought I had a text, but I didn't. It was a phone call. It was a phone call from the realtor, and I'm like, oh yeah. All right. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go to the bank. I gotta get the money ordered. So I'm thinking, right. So when I picked up the phone, and he said, I spoke to the owner, and he's going to stick to his no pet policy, right? So we had talked about that I have a pet, of course. And I told him Armani's 15, he just sleeps all day and eats, poops, that's all he does. Yeah. Like most dogs, but he does it like really, really, like he sleeps, like in that order, like he sleeps for hours. And he gets up to eat and then go outside. And then they said that there was a pet policy, there was a fee, there would be a fee. And then all of a sudden, he kind of, he pulled back. And he said, oh, the owner said, and he was talking really fast. And, and I kind of saw him yesterday. I saw him in person and I saw him. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see somebody, like you see them, right? And so I said, oh. So he talked really fast because I guess he felt bad about telling me that, or having to tell me that, that the owner decided to stick to his no pet policy. Now, I don't know whether it was that or whether I asked like for $10 off the the monthly rental, but I'm like, he could have just said, no, lady, this is the price and that's it. So I put my head down exactly where I'm at right now, because this is where I had my phone plugged in. And I said, God, I just need a moment. I need a moment. Because I really thought it was this one. It was okay, and I was when I had driven around the block, and I lived in the neighborhood, and I could, when my sister comes over, anybody visits, and I can take him here, take him there, and it was okay, And then it wasn't obviously the one that God has for me, right? And I'm like, okay, so, and the doves that I saw yesterday, the white doves, and a feather by my sink, a feather by my sink. It's weird. Where would the feather come from my sink? You know, other than just God telling me, listen, you might not hear such good news right now. And so just know that I'm with you. And I do have a plan and I do have a purpose. And it's gonna be better than just okay. So sometimes God does present himself, oftentimes he does present himself in different ways to us to manifest his presence with us if we're about to if we're hoping for something and he has other plans. So blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So we may be persecuted because we are believers, right? Because we believe in righteousness, which is, of course, Yeshua. We already explained that. Um, and God promises that because of that, because we're plugged into Him, then the kingdom of heaven belongs to me. It belongs to you. And then the next verse says, blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my accounts. And it's kind of silly that anybody would do that today, but it does happen, very subtly, where, you're not chosen for that job because they see that you're a believer, or you kind of, oh my God, thank God, or whatever, and, or people, a man or woman, might be turned off by you because of, your familiarity, your casualness with God. Like he's part of your conversation, you know what I'm saying? So, and so they might be turned off by that, like, oh yeah, she's mentioned God like a few times, so like, and well, all I say to that is, oh well, oh well. And so there are many ways where we will be persecuted, and people might just want to just say, no, your God is nobody or nothing. That's a lie. That's not even true. And I'm gonna show you how you're not gonna get this job, or you're not gonna get this apartment, or you're not gonna, or I'm not interested in you, or whatever the case may be. But the word says, and the word is God. He says that we are blessed, that I'm blessed, that you're blessed. If there's anybody, persecutes us just because we belong to Him and we trust Him and we believe in Him, if anybody hurls evilness against us just because we're His kids and we love Him and we trust God and we rely on Him and we believe in Him and we, they're gonna, they're gonna invent false reports on us, false accounts, because they see the Spirit of the living God in you and in me. And the word says, chill, relax, because you are blessed and because I'm blessed too. So, not the news that I wanted to hear this morning. I was like, okay, I was like, yes, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start packing though. I'm gonna start packing because I don't have a lot of stuff in this apartment. I really don't. I don't like. I like to. I don't like a lot of junk. Like when I accumulate more than 4 or 5 of one thing, like I kind of get rid of some. But I can begin packing the things that I don't use, like some dishes that I don't use, clothes that I don't use, stuff like that. And just keep it at a bare minimum. So when the movers do come, they come for the sofa, the little tables that I have here, TV, and my bed, and I have a little drawer thing. And that's it. And it's not going to be like a big hassle because everything else is packed. Because I believe, even though this apartment may not have been the one that God has for me, and it was okay, God is just preparing something better than okay. I'm trusting God for that. That He is going to place me in a place that's better than okay. Why? Because I believe in Him, because I trust Him. Because even though it sucks, all the waiting, but I know that He is molding and mending and fixing and perfecting people and things to be the best for His daughter. So I hope that you take that for you as well, because you are His child too. All right, everyone. I didn't want to talk too much. 16 minutes, that's enough. Jim Rockstone, blessings. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.